Learning the transformation of divine powers. Advanced cultivation 2. Dayform Buddha. All things arise from consciousness. To seek the attainment of celestial being, one must learn self-transformation. The principles are subtle and mysterious, and profoundly inscrutable. An outstanding actor can portray 100 different lives, accurately embodying whatever role they play. This is the result of consciousness. Though they cannot directly change their physical form, the actor's expressions and mannerisms align perfectly with the character they portray. There is a story in the Lizi, Yellow Emperor chapter. A mystical sorcerer from Qi came to reside in Zhang, named Jixian. He could predict people's life and death, existence and extinction, fortune and misfortune, and longevity with divine accuracy by years, months, tens of days, and days. The people of Zhang avoided him out of fear. Lizi was fascinated and reported this to Hu Qiuzi, saying, "I once thought your teachings were the highest, but now I see there is someone even higher." Hu Qiuzi replied, "We have discussed these matters in writing, but you have not grasped their practical reality. How could one understand Taoist skills? If there are only female animals and no males, how could they produce eggs? You insist on using your little tricks to deal with people in the world. You are bound to reveal your true face. So it's easy for people to see through you and read your fortune. Try to invite him over and let him read my fortune." The next day, Lizi brought Jixian to meet Hu Qiuzi. After Jixian left, he told Lizi, "Your teacher is about to die. He cannot live, not more than 10 days. I saw his appearance was strange, like wet ash." Lizi entered, crying so much that his clothes were wet, and reported this to Hu Qiuzi. Hu Qiuzi said, "I showed him the aspect of the earth. In a state of stillness and non-movement, he saw my life force as blocked. Invite him again." The next day, Jixian came with Lizi again. After Jixian left, he told Lizi, "Your teacher is fortunate to have met me. He is recovering. There is vitality in his whole body, and I see the blocked life force starting to stir." Lizi informed Hu Qiuzi. Hu Qiuzi said, "What I showed him was the junction of heaven and earth, where neither empty fame nor tangible benefits enter the heart. Yet the life force has already started to stir at my heels. This is the awakening of the blocked life force. Therefore, he saw my life force improving. Invite him again." The next day, Jixian came with Lizi once more. After Jixian left, he told Lizi, "Your teacher was sitting there with a distracted mind. I could not read his fortune. Wait until his mind is settled, then I will read his fortune." Lizi informed Hu Qiuzi. Hu Qiuzi said, "I showed him the aspect of great emptiness with no discernible signs. Therefore, he saw my chaotic, balanced life force. The place where a whale circles becomes a deep abyss, where water accumulates becomes a deep abyss, where water flows becomes a deep abyss, where water gushes becomes a deep abyss, where water falls becomes a deep abyss, where water breaches becomes a deep abyss, where water returns becomes a deep abyss, where water enters a marsh becomes a deep abyss, where water converges becomes a deep abyss. These are the 9 kinds of abysses. Invite him again." The next day, Lizi brought Jixian again. Before Jixian could stand still, he fled in panic. Hu Qiuzi said, "Chase him." Lizi chased after him but could not catch him and reported to Hu Qiuzi, "He has disappeared. I could not catch him." Hu Qiuzi said, "What I showed him did not leave my original appearance. I was without attachment, changing with him. He could not discern who I was. Thus, I followed him like grass, shifting like water, so he fled." What Hu Qiuzi demonstrated was the transformation of divine powers. Consider the following 2 stories. In Luodai village, Lingqi County, there was a man named Hao Er, known for a curious story about an old man. He spent his life practicing medicine and divination, and villagers from near and far sought his services, never giving him a moment of rest. There was a painting in his shop depicting Master Sun and a red tiger. As the man grew older, he spent his days gazing intently at the tiger in the painting, never tiring. If he did not see the tiger for a day, he would be unhappy. His grandson would sell beans and wheat in the city to buy salt and other supplies. If the supplies did not meet his expectations, he would become angry and scold others, even striking them with a cane. If he saw the tiger in the painting, he would forget all his unhappiness. When asked to see patients, if there was a tiger painting in their home, he would stare at it for a long time. Relatives would only give him tiger paintings as gifts. Over time, his house was filled with tiger paintings. His brother found this obsession strange and asked him, "Why are you so fond of tigers?" He replied, "I often feel distressed, and seeing the tiger makes me feel better." His brother said, "There is a live tiger in the city drugstore. Have you seen it?" He answered, "No." He immediately prostrated himself on the ground, begging his elder brother to take him to see the real tiger. Upon seeing the live tiger, he became so captivated that he forgot to eat or sleep, and it took over 10 days to get him to return home. From then on, he visited the city multiple times a month to see the tiger. After some time, he developed a preference for eating meat and began to find cooked meat unappetizing, preferring raw meat. He enjoyed eating raw pig heads and legs with great pleasure. His family became frightened, but he continued with his habits. When he went to the city to see the tiger, if his family found him, he would beat them back with his cane. One night, he suddenly opened the door and left quietly, leaving no trace. Later, it was reported that a tiger had jumped into the city at night, and when the city gate was closed, soldiers shot the tiger and distributed its meat. After that, the old man was never heard from again. The family believed that their grandfather was the tiger shot by the soldiers and obtained some tiger bones from those who ate the meat and buried them. In the late Song and early Yuan dynasties, Zhao Ziyang was the most famous painter, skilled in both landscapes and horse paintings. Once, he devoted himself to painting 100 horses, studying their forms, movements, and expressions daily. Due to his intense focus, his soul left his body in sleep and turned into a horse. When his wife, exhausted, wanted to rest, she lifted the curtain and was horrified to see a huge beast on the bed, fainting immediately. Zhao Ziyang, awakened by the sound of his wife falling, quickly helped her recover. When she opened her eyes, she kept exclaiming, "There is a horse on the bed." Zhao Ziyang looked at the bed and thought, "Where on the bed is there a horse? I was clearly sleeping there." Upon reflection, he realized that because he thought about horses every day, and as all phenomena are created by the mind, he had turned himself into a horse. The profound truth lies within these stories. May you also possess the power of transformation. Sun Wukong had 72 transformations. I hope you can surpass Sun Wukong and possess the ability to transform in countless ways.